So I've been talking about this for a while, but I want to show you a few things over on my TradingView charts, talking about the fact that we could be looking at a correction kind of driven for Shiba Inu, by the way, driven by kind of the overall macro factor of Bitcoin, Ethereum market moving down. So, you know me, I'm a glass half full kind of guy, but I'm also a realist, and I always like to look at things with what I call cautious optimism. All right. So in a minute, I'm going to show you some things that I'm seeing, have a dialogue around kind of what there could be a correction coming where we could maybe see a 10-15% move down for maybe Shiba Inu, and or driven by kind of from that macro level. Okay, so I want to show that to you. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button below and drop a like on the video. Let's get into this. Thank you for your support. Okay, so right now the market is actually kind of a little bit flat, up 0.64, and you got Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of on the 24-hour showing basically flat, flat or down a little bit, and on the 1 hour just a little bit up. Okay, so here's what I want to show you. This is about Shiba Inu, but I want to start off and talk to you about Bitcoin first. Okay, because remember, Bitcoin drives everything. Bitcoin by itself is the largest single market cap, making up that number. In and of itself, maybe more north of 42+% of that number right there is made up of Bitcoin, which is why we look at it. Bitcoin does matter to Shiba Inu. Okay, so here's some things I want to show you. Okay, so right here, you've got a real simple chart with a few lines on it. And what I really want to show you is kind of how we've dipped down. This is on the 15-minute, by the way. And right now we're basically kind of moving forward. And there's a potential here of Bitcoin moving down and kind of that $22,500 level. The reason is that you've got a lot of people that are kind of wanting to get into Bitcoin, and they don't want to really buy at these levels, and they're wanting to kind of basically, buy it at these lower levels. So there might be some move down, some push down, kind of in that 10% range. Kind of, if you think about it, there's kind of these people waiting on the sidelines, right? Or they're wanting to pick up, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the major altcoins a little bit cheaper level. So there is that. Okay, so that's kind of a factor that could be potentially moving the market down, is just people looking at people who bought over here might look at taking some profits in here, and B, you've got people that are kind of wanting to get and buy Bitcoin a little bit cheaper, so they're kind of looking at eyeing these levels down in here, which ultimately is going to correlate to Shib itself starting to maybe move down accordingly, kind of with Bitcoin and things like that. So we could see, potentially a 10% move down in the next, 3 or 4 or 5 days. Now, again, this could all go the other way. It's, how it is. Like, none of us have a crystal ball, right? This could all go the other way if we get any type of a good news on the kind of the macro level. We had the State of the Union last night, a lot of stuff going on around that. But the long and the short of it is that I think we have some volatility ahead of us, maybe, short-term volatility ahead of us. And I wanted to make you aware of it, so that it doesn't catch you by surprise. If this does not come to be, which happens, then you at least know that there's some risk there if you need to do anything to kind of minimize that risk, and or maybe be watching for those levels, right? So let's say that Shib does move to this level, so you're looking at maybe moving down and seeing, okay, hey, if it hits a certain level, like say that's a 13.29 level, you might want to look at picking some up and see, like right now, Shib's at a 13.8, right? So maybe, all right, hey, what Austin said, maybe I'll kind of look at it. If it does dip down into that, I might look to add to my bags a little bit, something kind of on that standpoint. But I do think we have some risk here, again, kind of being driven what I was talking about. We got people that bought over in this level right in here, looking at maybe taking some profits, and maybe that will start to drive down a little bit. But oh, by the way, we've got people on the sidelines. And then thirdly, on top of that is kind of that macro level scenario that, if we get any type of a surprise remarks having to do with the Fed, things of that nature. We had a surprise report come out when the labor report came out, and it was, I think we were expecting about 118,000 jobs added. We actually got 588,000 added. I mean, which was a crazy, not good thing to happen from the jobs market. So that's kind of thrown a wrench into and created some uncertainty on the macro level as it relates to inflation and what the government's doing and all this kind of, all that, mess, if you will. Okay. So what it really comes down to is we have volatility. We know that's in play. We might have some downside risk. You kind of now have a number. Hey, if this kind of happens, maybe a 10% dip, look at maybe, maybe a good acquisition level. Again, whatever's right for you, not investing advice. That's what I got for you. But there could be a correction coming. Just want to make you aware. All right. I'll see you. Have a good one. Bye.